Dinesh D'Souza is a conservative. He thinks President Obama has been dishonest. Oh, is that right? Dinesh D'Souza thinks that he's in the family values party. Oh, is that right? Okay. And he did a whole documentary about how terrible Obama was. Now guess what happened to Dinesh D'Souza? Oh, federal charges. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. One count of making more than $10,000 of contributions in the names of others, in other words, violating campaign laws, and one count of causing false statements. Wait a minute, I thought that Clinton was a terrible guy who needed to be impeached because of false statements. Turns out Dinesh D'Souza might have done likewise. Huh, interesting. All right, what's his maximum sentence? 5 years for the contributions charge and 2 years for the false statements charge. So a combined 7 years possible. Now, I love the denial of his attorneys. It goes to show you that he probably did do it. Now, of course, the courts will decide, and we'll have fun covering that. But he says, Benjamin Brafman says, that D'Souza's actions were, quote, at worst, this was an act of misguided friendship by D'Souza. So it turns out he was trying to help his friend that he'd known through college, Wendy Long, when she was running for senator in New York. And, well, golly gee, the way he helped his friend is by funneling money to her that he shouldn't have. Ah. Well, the only problem with that is that it's illegal. Oh, federal charges. Awesome. Okay, now the only thing better about this is how he funneled the money to her. Because not only did he himself funnel money to her, okay, which he did, so that's $10,000 from him, Dinesh D'Souza, okay, that's actually no problem, that's a goofy picture, that's fun for everybody, okay. Then he decided, I'm going to use my wife, Dixie D'Souza. By the way, leave it to a right-wing dude to marry a woman named Dixie. Okay, I got it, Dinesh, I know. You like white folks. Okay, anyway, he marries Dixie D'Souza, no problem, God bless, and she funnels $10,000. The only problem is, it wasn't really her $10,000, he paid her back. Now that's what the charges say. So he's actually trying to give Wendy Long $20,000. That's illegal, okay? And he got his wife involved in this. Now here's a fun part of who else he got involved. His mistress. Awesome. I mean the balls on this guy. Family values. That's why I'm going to funnel money through my wife and my mistress to this Republican candidate. Let's take a look at his mistress, Denise Odie Joseph. Interesting. Okay. She looks ethnic but has a white name, so it's half and half. Okay, anyway, God bless his heart. I mean, I get it. But $15,000 is illegal by itself, and the campaign had to return $5,000 of it. Apparently the mistress is not quite caught up on political things yet. Apparently Dinesh isn't caught up on it because you're not supposed to get more than $10,000. You're not supposed to funnel it through other people, so he's stone cold busted. Okay, now we're going to have to wait to see if he gets convicted of this. Like I said, his attorney saying that it's at best just trying to help a buddy. That's actually not an excuse. That's still illegal whether you're trying to help a buddy or not. That doesn't bode well for Dinesh D'Souza. And now, time to make fun of him more. Let's show you a little speech from Dinesh D'Souza where he is telling us how terrible Barack Obama is.
With Obama, you have a guy who doesn't want the bust of Winston Churchill around him in the Oval Office. You want a guy who wants to remake the space agency into an international outreach agency for Muslims. You want a guy who's blocking oil drilling in America while he subsidizes oil drilling in Brazil and Colombia and encourages it in Mexico. He's often presented as a kind of multicultural embodiment of the American dream. And all of us try to project American history onto Obama. But in the process, we forget Obama's own history. I think if the American people knew who Obama really was, they would see that he is not an ordinary Democrat. Ordinary Democrats want to redistribute income in America. Obama wants to realign America in the world. That's a very That's a very different agenda.
Obama's so evil. Oh, yeah. He's doing all these things wrong. First of all, of course, he's lying about almost everything he said there. Obama's not blocking any oil drilling. There's been record oil drilling under President Obama. But my favorite part there was, like, he's not just a regular Democrat who wants to redistribute wealth, of course. What happened, Dinesh? It looks like you violated some federal laws redistributing wealth. Oops. God, I love the hypocrisy of conservatives. They make this job so easy and so fun. You know, I interviewed Dinesh D'Souza, and that was back when we were on Current TV. That was a lot of fun. He came out lying from the get-go. Just a fun little interaction we wanted to share with you guys. Let's watch.
First of all, lots of conservatives were critical about Bush
But not
spending.
you.
Second, hold on, let me finish. The largest Bush deficit was $500 billion. The
Untrue.
lowest Obama deficit is $1 trillion.
Untrue.
So Obama has untrue? It is true.
$1.2 trillion. Please look it up. When Obama got into office,
you
Bush
talking which
left him
year?
a $1.2 trillion
Which year?
deficit in
Which
his
year?
last year,
No, that's in his last year. You mean 2009?
2008.
2008, America's deficit was under $500 billion. It was Obama who carries that on to an over $1
Are
trillion
you saying that when
deficit
President
in
Obama
09?
got into office that the deficit was $500 billion when in fact everyone acknowledges it was $1.2 trillion? Is that the claim you're making
Everyone
now?
acknowledges. Wait
Yes.
a second. We're talking about a carryover year, and you're basically trying to saddle Bush with an Obama deficit. Look, to some sense, I suppose, the economic nosedive, which Bush supported, the bailout, and so did Obama, that's a transitional phase.
So why did you never cry about the giant deficits that your wars in Iraq and Afghanistan created? Why did you never cry about the $2.5 trillion you added to the deficit for the tax cuts for the rich who paid you at the American Enterprise Institute, who paid you at the Hoover Institution, who now pay you at the King's College, who probably paid you for your books and your documentaries? Why did you never complain about that when the giant deficit-creating tax cuts and wars went to your friends?
Well, first of all, you're actually making yourself silly now. I was a scholar at the American Enterprise Institute. My document.
Dinesh, who's making themselves silly now? A scholar at the American Enterprise Institute. That was rich. That was precious, right? And yes, no, Dinesh never did defend Bush's excessive spending and all the deficits that he rang up. And of course, it was $1.2 trillion that Bush left behind. Here's what Dinesh D'Souza leaves behind, his ex-wife now, Dixie D'Souza. Well played. Well played.